Thank you. Woo-woo. Well, I get inspired by this one right here, who's always got, and then Miss Sarah, I saw Sarah came in too, because Sarah's always changing her hair color. I was like, I'm doing it. Walmart, folks. $15, Walmart, 25 minutes at your house. You don't even need to tip me. I'm really good. If you're coming here for Usher Training, come on in. It is so great to see you all. Someone was saying, gosh, I didn't know we had this many ushers. I was like, we have 4 different services. So I was like, oh, you guys probably don't even know each other. So let's just, if you are a Saturday nighter, raise your hand if you are a Saturday nighter. All right, see, there are some of our Saturday nighters. Good to know. 745ers, who are some of our 745ers? Early. All right, 915ers. Who are the 915ers? All right. And then do we have any 1045ers in the house? Right? So this is, applaud yourselves because we're so happy you're here. A couple of things. Pastor Wyatt had organized this, and then he's not here for the weekend. So I said, can I please do this? No, honestly, because the work that you do changes how people understand church. There's a beautiful book called Fusion, and it's how to make visitors into members. And so there's a lot of conversation in there. But one of the studies they said is someone decides if they're going to come back to church or not in the first 7 minutes once they hit the parking lot. We don't preach in that first 7 minutes, right? You haven't heard the choir in that first 7 minutes. So what their decision is based on, one, it's our grounds, right? When they drive in, does this church take care of the land that they have? Are they good stewards? Do they actually care about how the place looks? And then it's how they are greeted by you all. Right? When you're handing out the bulletins, when you're welcoming people in the morning, you, or the night, I just thought about that in my head. You guys are the ones that help people decide if they want to come back again. Also, the one place that people will volunteer the most easiest is in serving in worship. And why that is because if they had a good experience where they were welcomed, where they were embraced, they then will want to share that experience with someone else. So what you all do truly is key to who we are as Resurrection and as we grow. And I don't know that you always know that. We need you. We need you. We can't exist without you. When you don't show up, we don't work as well. Right? And you'll see it on Pastor Tim's face. Because he has no poker face. Right? You can see if we're sitting up there and something's going on, you see it on his face. Right? And the other thing that you guys do is when we know you all are here, it allows your pastors to care for the people, right? Because now we're not worried about, do we have enough ushers? Are people going to be seated? Are they going to be greeted? Do we have enough bulletins? Where's the this week? Like, we don't have to have any of that on our brains. So then we can be open to the Holy Spirit saying, hey, that person needs you to go talk to them. Hey, remember that sermon? This is something the Spirit wants you to say. So you all are able to free us up to do the jobs that we have been called into. So again, I want to thank you for what you do. It is very, very important. We could not be who we are without you. And it's also kind of nice for you to know what you're supposed to do, isn't it? And so, before you make it up. Oh, there's one other thing I do want to thank you. There's a couple of children that we have, Jacob and Michaela. And during the summer, we changed their Sunday school hour. They like that traditional service, but they didn't have anything to experience as being a part. And so I think it may have been even Diane who asked them, do you want to usher? And they started ushering. And they're not even in confirmation yet. And now they feel like they belong. And so I also want to thank you that whenever we do have our children are learning, you are apprenticing them, you are mentoring them in the faith of what it means to belong here. And so every time you do that, you embrace one of those kids, you are creating the next head usher in 20 years. Right? You're teaching these kids that they have a place in the church now and when they are young adults. That they don't just have to go off to Sunday school, but here in worship, they belong. And so I want to thank you for that. All right, Steve, I'm going to turn this over to you to do some training and conversations. Yes? Excellent. And then at the end, we have a new way to kind of sign up for ushering and what that looks like. And I'm going to go through that with you. Sound good? All right, you got to use the mic.
All right. Well, I just want to echo what Pastor Aaron said. Thank you for everything you do to help us. Thank you for being here today. Just so you know, because I know we've got a lot of our steady eddies and we got some new people in here, so we thought it would be good to get everybody together and just go through this. This is, like Pastor Aaron said, this is a really important part of the worship service. And I got to tell you, when I went to new member orientation, this was back in 2010, I signed up to be a lector. I didn't sign up for this at all, like at all. And you guys know John. He called me up and said, "Hey, I need your help with something." And it's like getting a call from your grandpa. You can't say no, right? So he goes, "Don't worry about it. All you have to do is show up to one service once a month, and that's all you have to do." And that you can see what happened with that. So be careful at new member orientations. So, but we wanted to get together. I'm going to show you this so that I don't have to carry it around the whole time we're doing this. But I left these on the counter. Pastor Aaron's going to tell you about the new system. You guys know in the past, what we've done is we had sort of a week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 team, and everybody kind of knew once a month what your schedule was going to be. It's always challenging. I'll tell you what the genesis of this was. It's always challenging around the holidays because people are traveling. You don't know who's here. You don't know who's not here. But that's also a time, like Pastor Aaron says, there's a lot of people that are coming to this may be the only time they come to our church on Christmas or Easter or something like that. So the experience they have is really, really important. It's also when we have the most people, and let's say, you guys know everybody's traveling, they've got family in, and so we try not to overwhelm anybody. What has happened in the past, though, is we end up with about 10 people doing most of the services, and we don't have a lot of coverage from other, and so it gets to be overwhelming, and that's part of why we're having this. But the other good news is we have a lot of people who they're going through new member orientation, they see what we're doing, they want to be involved and they want to sign up. Well, we're trying to make sure that we don't want anybody to come here and say, "I signed up and I never heard from anybody." And so that's one of the challenges that we're trying to do. So this piece of paper, I want you to go ahead and take it. If you're also going to get this electronically, so you'll have it so you don't have to type in this web address. But what this is basically, here, the new system that we're going to have, we have people, if your name is on this list, hopefully you know about this because I think I talked to most of you, but we're going to have a team captain for each week, for each service. And that's going to be kind of the person that organizes all that. So if you're a team captain and your name's on this list, hopefully you're happy about this. If there is a problem at all, let me know if one week works better for you than other weeks. So take a look at that. What we're going to ask you to do, and Pastor Aaron's going to talk about it a little more, is we've got a new website, and you will be able to look at your schedule and you'll be able to sign up to Usher whenever it works out with your schedule. So that's the first big change. The other thing just to keep in mind is in the past, once we got you on the list, you were week 1 every single time. That's not going to be the case anymore. So if you want to sign up, you got to every once in a while put a reminder to yourself or whatever that you need to sign up for next month. You need to sign up for next month. Sort of the secrets of the Vatican about how this works out here. Nova, who's doing a fantastic job, and she's going to talk to us a little bit, but Nova is the one that helps put together everybody that's volunteering. She's also the person that turns in the names for the bulletin. So what we've asked her to do with this new system is on Thursday, because she needs, by Monday, she needs the names of everybody who's going to be serving as an usher to put their names in the bulletin. So if we don't have a full crew by Thursday, you're probably going to be getting a call from Nova saying, hey, can you help us fill in a slot here or there, something like that. But we have the entire, whoever's going to help, finalized by the Monday before the Sunday. So Monday we know who's going to be there. So that's going to be a little bit of change for all of us, but I encourage you to look at the website. Pastor Aaron, are we going to be able to put it on the screen?
Do you want to do that now? And that way when you're doing the training, those
Well,
around for a little bit?
let me just finish this up. So that'll be one of the changes that you'll have to get used to. It is tell me if I'm wrong about this, Nova. It's my understanding that Nova, if you're on this list as one of our team captains, you're going to be signed up automatically by Nova on whatever week you're signed up. Is that correct?
That's correct. When you see this sheet, those of you who I've been told have agreed to be team captains, you're already in there for December. So take a look at it, make sure it's okay. Because otherwise, you're on that team.
Yeah, so what Nova just said is, for the people that we have listed as team captains on this, you are already signed up for that whatever week on that schedule you are in December. But we haven't gone past that. But Nova, the team captains are going to be signed up every week.
As we roll out the next month, the team captains will automatically, well, not automatically, but I'll make sure they're in there.
All right. Now, just to explain, the reason we're doing that is because we want you to pick a time that works for your schedule, right? We're not gonna know from month to month who's other than you guys sign up, right? So we might not have the same people week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. No, we're not changing everything, but we will have the same team captain for that particular week, so that we will have some consistency. It's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. We have a lot of people that say we want to sign up and we never get called. We don't want anybody to walk away. So the best way we could figure on dealing with it. We also have I'll tell you one of the usual problems that we have right now is that we have our schedule like we have week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Every week somebody tells me, I'm going on vacation, I got to go on a work trip, something like that. Every single week we're scrambling to fill holes from people who are traveling or whatever. So this is going to give you the opportunity to look at your schedule, find times to help out that work with your schedule.
No, I'm saying if you've been an usher Sunday morning
Right.
for the last 5 years, on Sunday you're not going to be that anymore.
That is correct.
So,
We're gonna ask. Yeah, that's exactly what we're naming is because of the amazingness of people wanting to serve. We have to make room. We get to make room, which is beautiful. Like what churches have this problem where you have to make room for more people to serve, and where some people are very regular, what Steve is saying is sometimes people, we assume that they're going to be showing up because they have every year for 5 years on the 5th Sunday, but then they're on vacation and then they don't tell us. And so then that Sunday morning, we're scrambling. And so this is also going to allow people to look at their schedules. Now, if you want every 5th Sunday, guess what? You can schedule every 5th Sunday is the other thing. And so you are able to, if you want that regular schedule and go in there, bam, all you got to do is do it. And so you have that opportunity to be able to usher as often as you would like, or to be able to say, you know what, I'm good 3 times a year, bam, 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 and can do that as well. So there's some autonomy in what this looks like.
All right. So I know I don't want to take too much of your time at this meeting. I know we've got some new folks. We have some people that have been around. So I don't want to make everybody go through stuff that you might already know about, but just the high points and some other changes that we've been kind of working on. So this is not a change. We ask you whenever you sign up to be here half hour before the service so we can get organized. The other thing I'll tell you is I really appreciate every week we have people that come up. We had people that did this week that come up and say, hey, I'm here. If you're shorthanded, let me know. So if you're here and you feel so inclined to help us out, let somebody know that you're available, because there's not a single week where we don't have somebody not show up or something like that. So it's always appreciated. But get here a half hour early. We will get everybody assigned to where they're going. One of the things that we're trying to do is we don't want just captains in name only. So we're hoping that over time that the captains will start, which most of you have been doing anyways, but the captains will be telling you where to go and what to do, all that. And I was thinking the best way to do this too, how many people are fairly new to doing ushering? Okay, so what I thought would be most helpful, Pastor Aaron's going to go through the new sign-up system and all that, but there are a couple, 3 things that I just think for the newer people that it would be helpful to see that we don't necessarily have to go into with everybody. So maybe at the end of this meeting, if we could meet in the back and we can just do a quick couple-minute tour, because I'd like to show you the sacristy, which there's stuff in there that how many people know that we have to put all the offerings that you guys collect in the safe? How many? Okay. Does anybody not know where the safe is? Okay. So that's one of the things that we'll go and show you. One of the other quick changes to let you know about, and this caused a little bit of heartburn when it first started, but we, in addition to you guys volunteering, we have volunteers that volunteer to count all the offerings that we collect. And so there's an office in the church office, and they are generally waiting for us to bring whatever we collect in the offering to them. They can't start their work until we bring the money to them. So what we started doing in the last month or so is that when you see us huddling in the back there, we will send up one basket with, I don't know, like 3 or 4 checks in it, and everything else goes out into the counting room so they can start on their work, because otherwise they're just sitting there waiting, and the offering is sitting up on the altar, and they have nothing to do. So that's one. So when you see that huddling around, the funny backstory was the first time we did this, Pastor Wyatt told me to do this, but he didn't tell Pastor Tim. And so we sent up a basket with $5 and 3 checks in it. And Tim's like, what happened? What happened? Right. So that's one of the changes. But the other things, and you guys always do a great job, but just keep in mind, I mean, you know the demographics of our church. When you're doing the when you're doing the communion, we occasionally have people who can't get up for whatever reason. This is largely for the new people, but if you run into somebody that looks like they're having issues, the best way to deal with that is just ask them, do you want us to bring somebody back to you to give you communion? They'll tell you yes or no, right? So what we always ask is the ushers, after they get everybody through, they're always the last person to go up to communion, and that's where you'll tell them, I've got 2 people here that need to go, or 1 person here. So if you were not aware of that, then that's something to be aware of. The other thing for services, for the 2 earlier services, we always ask the ushers after the service is over, just to kind of go around and look. People leave trash, they stuff the bulletins in the back of the chairs and all that, so we always need help so that the church is clean for the next service that comes in. I think people think there's magic elves that come in and clean up the church, but that's not the case. So we will get into the scheduling, because that's largely why we're here, and then let's just meet for anybody. Well, you don't have to be new. Anybody that wants to do the quick nickel tour of showing you the different areas, just meet me in the back and we'll go around. And but again, I cannot say thank you enough. I mean, I love doing this. I really love doing this. I think it's one of the best opportunities that I've had to serve in this church, and I appreciate everything that you guys are doing to help us, because it's one of our pillars, is worship.
Thank you, Steve.
Bob?
Steve, are you going to go cover a little bit, not just with a couple people, but like when we open, what doors we shut? I shut the inner doors when the music starts. Somebody has to count all the people.
Right.
You're supposed to count all the band members. You're supposed to count the pastor.
Okay.
You're supposed to go to the nursery and count the people there. Do they know that? Because sometimes I just show up and I just count because I know nobody did.
Right. Well,
Things like that.
so,
Everybody should know.
right. So you guys always see me wandering around, and people always look kind of creeped out, like I'm spying on them or something. But when we do the tour, I'll show you, there's a book in the back in the cabinets here. But we do have to have 1 person at every service that does a head count of everybody that's here. It helps us just so that we know how many people to expect. It helps us with things like printing bulletins. It helps us with our budgets and all sorts of things. So that head count is an important part. So somebody has to do it. It doesn't have to be me all the time, but somebody has to do that. That's an important part of our service. As far as the doors, I don't know that we have any policy one way or the other. I mean, we
Sometimes when they're playing the last song, you got people hanging out, some kids, some running through their scooters.
right.
You shouldn't open the doors.
Well, I just go out there and yell, "Get off my lawn!" and chase. No, I don't. No, but I mean, what I usually do, but again, it's when you guys are working this, it's up to you. What I usually do is wait until, so we're going to collect the offering when they start doing the prayers. That we always fall after that. So that's the first break point in our service. But then they do what I've always been doing is they do the benediction, and then they start that last hymn. And when they start the last hymn, that's usually when I open the doors, because even if there is somebody yapping out there, you're not going to hear it over people singing, because we have such wonderful voices. So that's.
I did not have a wonderful voice.
So that's. Did I answer your questions on that?
See, that's when I open the outside doors, and then I have an usher at each door.
Mm-hmm.
And when they do the final question,
Right.
that's when I open.
Okay. All right.
Oh, there's a question in the back. You got all kinds of questions.
Steve, this is a reminder for everybody here. This is kind of an auditor for our auditors to make them happy. always go to take the offering over to the safe, and also not be of the same family.
Okay.
Okay?
No, and thanks for bringing that up, Bob. Yeah, I'll tell you, when we were in COVID, we kind of got a little bit lax with some of that stuff because we were just trying to get back to normal. But that's what we try to do. So when you see us huddling up and doing all the offering baskets, we will send 2 people to the church office immediately, and when we walk through, I'll show you where all those different places are. But yeah, we're trying to have 2 people, just so nobody goes to the Bahamas on our offerings. But yes.
Why do you need the safe if you take it straight to the counters?
Pardon me?
Why do you need the safe?
Because sometimes the counters are not there. They're volunteers too. So we're trying to accommodate them if they're there. But if they're not, it goes immediately into the safe. The safe, so you know, it kind of looks like it reminds me of an old mailbox that you put the mail in and you close the lid and it falls down in the thing. And what do you do all the time? You always open it to make sure your letter fell in. That's what the safe does. You shut the door, it drops in. I always open it to see that something's not in there, and it goes in, and then you can't touch it from there. So, but we'll do that when we have the tour there. So, Pastor Aaron, Nova, did you want to say something?
I just,
You need. They can't hear you.
oh, we can't hear you. My comments are mostly housekeeping type comments, along with the details that Steve was talking about. And lest any of you new people who haven't done a lot of ushering get sort of shy away, believe me, there's a lot of nuances in ushering, but the basic job is really simple. And you'll learn those nuances as you get in and start to move around. It's not that complicated, but there's some safeguards that we have in place and just general procedures that we all like to follow and should follow. And don't get scared.
Be unafraid. Yes, you have a question?
Are you going to point out to people who have not ushered before the AEDs?
Yes. So on the tour, this is so great. See, this is why we do these kinds of things. When you saw me typing on my phone, I wasn't texting Pastor Wyatt. I was actually like, oh, these are things that need to add to the list. So pointing out where the AEDs are. And so we do have our AEDs in the back there. See where the big sign says AED under Jesus' arm? And so that is where if there's a medical emergency. Again, we also, with our campus watch, maybe you do not know, but with our campus watch, we have someone stationed inside and someone stationed outside. And so campus watch is also your buddy, that if someone goes down in a church service, then campus watch and the ushers, again, one of the beautiful things that you do is to help take care of that emergency so that we're able to take care of the people who are going on. And so your campus watch person is also your partner in case there is some sort of an emergency in that understanding. So I'll add AEDs. And again, on the tour, Steve will be pointing out where the AED is and such. Yes, Miss Judy.
Campus watch. Will we have that list, on that particular Sunday that we're in?
Yeah.
Everybody be listed so that we'll know.
Know who the campus watch is? Usually they have the blue shirts on, but that's a great thing to be able to do, is to kind of make sure everyone knows who everyone is on that list. I would love to, at some point in time, as we continue to grow, at one of my churches, we had a designated kind of our medical person every service. It was like usually a retired someone or an active nurse. They would sign up. We'd have a chair. They'd always grab the not the AED because that would make noise, but just like the medical kit. So if there was an emergency, so a lot of times people don't eat breakfast, and a lot of our older people will just go down because of that. And so we always knew exactly who to go to because of what chair they were in, and then they would help with that medical emergency because they were equipped. So I think like as we grow our ministries, and then we would always know who to refer to and what that looks like. Yes, Ms. Paula.
I hope I'm not jumping ahead, but are you going to give us, before you talk to us about how to sign up, the sheet Steve was talking about?
No, because all it has is a list of names on it. I'm just going to show you the website.
Okay.
And we're going to walk through that a little bit.
In the back on the counter is water.
Oh,
Yeah, I just looked at it to see if I wanted to do the same thing, and it's just the list of name of captains. It's not going to be as helpful when I go through this.
All right.
But thank you for asking that. Yes, Miss Diane.
There is in the back right here in the cubby.
Yeah.
Open the door. There's a little box. It says diabetic on it. There's waters in there for someone who's dehydrated.
Nice.
Sometimes some Propel. There's crackers, and just if someone's diabetic or just feeling faint, you can go in there and give them whatever they need.
So Miss Diane is saying over under the big screen TV and the cabinets there is kind of a little diabetic kit that has some sugars, some juice, some crackers in case your pastors feel faint or now I know where to get my snacks. But all of those are under there, so in case we have that happening, that you're able to kind of grab that. So again, and these are things, as I'm thinking about this, we need to put a hit list together, just to kind of, to be a binder, that whole deal. So as new people come in, they're also able to kind of know what's happening. Okay, I'm going to go through this because some of us are hungry and we still have to go to a movie. So how many of you guys like change? Right? What if it's a new hair color? All right. So change is hard. Change is frustrating. We don't always like it. Everyone groan right now. Oh. Okay, I don't hear another word. Luke, can you show me the website? So as we go through this is our orovalley.org website. Hopefully all of you will have seen it. It'll be doing some beautiful changes. Now, when you want to sign up, do we know where to go for this, Luke? Where do they sign up?
Serve.
Under serve. If you want to serve, where do you hit? Serve. All right, so we go there, and then what do we hit? Congregational care. Oh, serve and worship. Look at that right there under the very first tab, right? So we're serving in the congregation. You're caring for the congregation. You hit congregational care, and then it's that very first tab. You click that up, worship, ministry, sign-ups. Usher! So you're going to click there. Now again, I know this is hard, and this is frustrating, and this is confusing. And it's also amazing to be able to do this. This will be able to allow us to have more people serving. This will allow you to have autonomy over your schedule. It'll also send you reminders. And it's automatic, so it eases up Miss Nova's job, and so she's able to better take care of what she's doing as well. So you're going to see Usher Worship Schedule, and as you scroll down a little bit, oh, I need my laser pointer, Mark. Luke, I want my laser pointer. Yeah, it does. All right. If I had a laser pointer, I would point up to the date. You can see it says Saturday, kind of. Location, sanctuary, time 5 to 6. And you see where it says lead usher, and under there it actually says all slots filled because Kathy Wall, you can see her name, is already listed as the lead usher. So just as we were saying that in December, all of the lead ushers are already listed, they're already put right in there in that lead usher category. Oh, I'm about to be excited. Ha! Doo-doo-doo. It's like a cat. Okay, so you can see Kathy's name right here where it says, so all of our lead ushers are full. On this screen over here, see my laser pointer? Look, woo! We're gonna come down. See it on the screen barely? Well, it does kind of. You all need to get glasses. All right, I know, but I can still see it. Just pretend, right? Lead usher, Kathy Wall. But let's say you want to usher on Saturday, right here. Oh, there you go. See where it says 3 slots available? It's because we need 3 people for that time zone. So you hit sign up. Yeah. So if you click sign up, if we click sign up, select it. Now, awesome, we're done.
Go down,
Scroll down,
and then
hit save and continue. Now it'll have you do your name, right? Your name and email. And then what this then does is that will then fill that one slot. So let's say, because people don't always, you're like, I feel like the Holy Spirit's calling me to go to church on Saturday night. And it's 4 o'clock. I wonder if they need any ushers. you actually could go to this website and say, there's still a slot open because it says it still needs one. I can go ahead and sign up, and that way I can just come on that night and see. Right? So this also allows you to say, hey, I just wonder where they're at with ushers. Some of you, Jim Joviak, I'll point to you in the back with my laser pointer. Jim is a 1045er. Sometimes he walks in the door like, hey, Jim, what you doing? Right? Well, now when he's drinking his coffee at 9 o'clock in the morning before he drives down here, he can look online and say, oh yeah, no, they're going to need me today because we don't have any ushers filled in for that slot. So doing this allows you also to be able to see where our ushers are. So if we were to fill this out, Luke, go ahead and type in my name. Yep. And eMorris at orovalley.org. And then hit sign up now. Excellent. If you go back to the sign up, and then if we were to scroll down, see right here, 1 of 3 slots filled, and there's my name, Erin Morris. Right? So let's just say, I wonder if I'll be able to do this. If I need to go in and change that, can I click on that? Click on EM. Yeah. You'll have to go into your own, I think you have to go into your own thing. I can't do it from just a random one. But you can actually go in then and also change those as well. So, yes, Ms. Paula.
Does this new system start in December or not?
We are going to try. Now, and I'm going to say try because we got to figure this out as well. Right? This is where I'm going to ask for grace. Right? We as pastors give you lots of grace. We're going to ask for some grace on this side. This is new for all of us. Right? So as we work together in this, let's do this kindly with one another. Share our frustrations so that we can fix our frustrations. But let's also remember we're all sinners. Right? And so we're all going to mess up. So we're going to start this in December, and so probably we'll be emailing this link out as well, as you can get it on the website to be able to do that. I don't know if you also noticed, for those of you who are super tech savvy, let's just be fun. Let's sign me up for another one. Right? So yeah, sign me up wherever you want.
Christmas Eve.
Oh, Christmas. Yeah. You can actually scroll for your date. Okay, 12/23, 12/24. But see, we also have lots of services. So any of those, sign me up. Ooh, I'll be a lead usher. Dang. All right, hit to save and continue. Right, sign me up. Put my little name in there. That's me.
You can.
I am excited. I am excited. eMorris at Oro Valley. Gosh, I can type without doing nothing. This is awesome. Okay, sign me up. Now, for those of you who are super tech savvy, I just want to add this. See this add to calendar? Can you blow that up? So for those of you who are super tech savvy, like for your Microsoft or Apple calendars, it can go ahead and add these things right to your calendar so everything's synced up. You also see where it says contact Christina. If you hit that, you can just email her right up of whatever it is that you're doing. And so that will email. So again, it just kind of, for your systems, it can kind of get everything integrated into one. Miss Christina, do you with my laser pointer? Do you have a question?
Now a question.
Yeah.
Luke, can you go back to the main sign up? Okay, and scroll down just a little so we see scroll up.
Keep going all the way up. See, at the very top, there's a green button that says create a sign up. You do not need to do that. Just ignore that. I unfortunately can't get that off the screen. You just scroll down and find your services. If any of you signed up last Christmas for any of the worship assistant, like usher, altar care, communion assistant, this is the same sign up. So it's super easy. And we also have created one for communion assistants and altar care. And these are gonna be in the December vision, but we will email you this link now so you can go ahead and start filling out, because December, first weekend is like weekend after next. So,
Yeah, this is what we used for Fall Fest a couple of years ago. As far as how to sign up, because it's free. Sign Up Genius is free, and so we don't have to pay for it, which is really great. But also for staff, it just allows us to make contact and manipulate things, because we can download all of these things into Excel spreadsheets and just all of that. So again, we will give you grace. You give us grace as we work through this together. If you ever need to come into the office because you're like, look, I really want to sign up, but I don't get any of this, go ahead. And if you are like, I can't figure this out on my home computer, invite Pastor Wyatt over for coffee, and he'll just figure out. He'll love that. He'll come visit, and he'll help you set everything up on your computer as well. All right. Again, if you have other questions, we can talk to you guys at the end, but I'll turn this back over to Steve.
I just wanted to ask one thing. So I told you this before, but know this again. You're going to get it. Take the physical copy, but you're going to get this electronically. At the bottom of this page is going to have a link that will take you straight to this, so you don't have to hunt for it. If you have any problems, if it's not working, let us know. But the other thing I'd ask while all of you are here is really especially take a look at the holiday schedule, because that's our biggest challenge. And we will get through the regular Sunday services, and those are important, but we don't know who's here, who's not here, who's traveling, who has family in, who doesn't have family in. And so we've got a lot of work to do in our busiest services where we have the most people. A huge amount are seeing our church for the first time. So if you could take a look over the next couple weeks at your schedule and look at that, that's where this is really going to be helpful. Because I know a lot of people in this room are at those services, but I basically, and this is not all about me, but I basically camp out here for that whole entire week, making sure we've got things covered and we have people. And if we don't have people, we're finding volunteers on the fly at those services while we've got 350 people in here, and that gets to be really challenging. So this is new, but I think this is going to be a really great tool. I think once we all get used to it, it's going to make your life a lot easier and a lot less stressful, and it's going to spread the load, and nobody's going to get left behind. We don't want to have any person come into our church saying, I signed up and I never heard back. That's not the message that we want to present to people. Yes?
A point on that. If any of you here are not receiving the
Would you please use the mic so...
If any of you here are not receiving the vision or the weekly announcements by email, please come and see me, because that means that we probably don't have your email address. This isn't going to work if I don't have your email address.
sorry, taking the mic again. If any of you don't use email, and you could call Nova or myself, and we will plug you in to the service and time that you would like. So we want this to be able to work smoothly for everyone, because sometimes, you know, internet goes down, or we just want to make whatever easiest for you. So don't hesitate to ring the church office and talk to either one of us.
So, yeah, except for questions, we're done here. Except for whoever wants to go on the tour, meet me in the back when we're done. Yes.
We've been using this in Minnesota for 3 or 4 years. It's about time you got it down here.
Well,
Minnesotans can use it. We Arizona church.
we don't want to come in second place to Minnesota on anything. Yes, Bob.
Steve, first off, I would like to thank you personally for holding this whole ministry together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Two other issues I'd like to ask. I'm
Yeah.
not sure, maybe Aaron, these are questions for you, Pastor Aaron.
Yeah.
First off, has any decision been made on the greeter ministry?
Oh,
That's one question.
Okay. Oh,
The
there's
second
more.
question is, as I understand, we're working on improving, making changes on our website.
Yeah.
And what impact may this have on what we just talked about here?
So if you are ever wanting to be a greeter, we don't have a formal one yet, but we'd like to get there. We have noticed a dramatic increase of when we are greeting outside as pastors, the joy that people have. The problem is at the 9:15 service and 10:45, we get pulled to talk to people. So we would love to have more greeters, especially at those services, to welcome people. It's not formalized yet, but we'd like it to. And about the website, it'll look exactly like that in some ways, so the interface is still the same. But those are great questions. Awesome. Again, thank you all so much. Hopefully we'll see some of you at the movie this afternoon.